Chapter 10. It's late when we finally leave the coffee shop, and we drive home under the streetlights with the heater blasting. I walk up the front steps after Aunt Mary Ellen drops me off, feeling buoyed by our conversation with Uncle Joseph. The house is quiet, and it appears as though everyone has already gone to bed. I groan as I realize that I've still got homework to do. Resigning myself to a late night, I go into the kitchen to grab a glass of water before I head upstairs. The stark white of a note on the black granite countertop catches my attention, and I pause to read it. Kay, Chelsea called. Says she has news. Dad. My heart leaps. I'll bet it's someone else has a bead. A quick glance at the clock assures me that it's way too late to call, and I smack the note back down on the counter in frustration. It'll just have to wait till tomorrow. I grab the note and carry it upstairs, needing the reassurance that I haven't just imagined it in a delusional late-night fog. I settle into my history book, trying to make sense out of words that swim before my tired eyes, while my mind buzzes with thoughts of beads and miracles and two women up to all sorts of heavenly mischief. I wake the following morning lying fully clothed on the top of my bedspread. As I drowsily swing my legs to the floor, I glance at my desk to find that my history book is still open to the same page I started on last night, and I've written 3 numbers on my timeline of World War II. Clearly, the year 193 does not play a significant role in a 20th century war. I groan. I look at the clock, which reads 7:10, and have no choice but to close my book and shove it into my backpack. My first late assignment all year. I jerk the zipper closed and head to the bathroom to freshen up before school. When I race into the kitchen, Dad's standing at the island, dressed and ready for work. Grab something to eat and hop in the car, he says. I'm taking you to school today. Where's Mom? I ask. In bed. She's not feeling well. I shrug, grab a banana, and head for the door of Dad's car. As we drive towards school, though, I think about how unusual it is for Mom to sleep in. I don't think I've ever seen her in bed after sunrise more than 5 times in my life. I immediately look for Evelyn when I go to school and see that she's standing by her locker talking to our friend, Morgan. We haven't told anyone at school about finding Grandma's rosary beads, and I'm hesitant to bring the subject up now, in front of someone else. I say hi to them both and give Evelyn a look that I hope says, I need to talk to you. Then I go back to my locker and start unloading my backpack. As I'm gathering my books up for my first 2 classes, Evelyn appears at my side. What's up? She whispers loudly. Chelsea called. There's news, I answer. Evelyn gives a small squeal and claps her hands excitedly. Eee! What's it? What is it? I don't know. I wasn't home. Dad took the message. You didn't call her back? Evelyn asked incredulously. No, it was too late when I got home, and of course it was too early to call her this morning. How's it happen that you're out late on a Sunday night? I went to evening mass at St. Joan of Arc with Aunt Mary Ellen. Then we went out for dinner at the Napoli's. I told her about everything that's been going on, and we ended up meeting Uncle Joseph so he could weigh in on the subject. Evelyn's brows arched up. I know she has more questions, but the bell rings, signaling that it's time to get to class. Come to my house after school. We can call her back from there, Evelyn says as we walk quickly down the hall. That'd be great, as long as my mom says it's okay. I'd much rather call Chelsea from friendly territory, where I don't have to worry about Mom overhearing me. We take our seats and quiet down just in time for the final bell to ring. When I see Mom in the car line, I'm startled by the dark circles under her eyes and the way she's slouched behind the wheel of the car. Gwen and Paul sit in the back seat, their faces reflecting my own concern. Are you okay? You look terrible, I blurt out, then cover my mouth, shocked by my thoughtless words. She doesn't look at me, just shakes her head and waves her hand for me to get into the car. Actually, Evelyn asked me to come to her house this afternoon, I say awkwardly. But if you need me to drive or anything... No, go to Evelyn's, she says, her voice sounding funny. I hesitate, and she urges, please go to Evelyn's. And I realize she doesn't want me to come home. My emotions war with each other as I walk with Evelyn. On the one hand, I'm very happy to be going to her house and happy to be able to call Chelsea from there, where I don't risk offending or upsetting Mom. I'm also happy to be away from the dour atmosphere of our home for a few hours. On the other hand, my feelings are hurt that my own mother doesn't want me around. What have I done to make her dislike me that much? My emotions swing from angry desire just to keep on doing more of whatever that's bothering her, and a keen longing to do whatever it would take to make her love me again. Evelyn chatters all the way home. There's a guy she likes in our class, so she fills me in on all the latest and greatest about Mitchell. What he was wearing today, the color of his eyes, the fact that he said hello this morning and asked her if she likes pizza at lunch. It's pretty easy to tune her out, mumble the occasional and really, and pretend that I'm listening, all while struggling with the gazillion thoughts thundering around my head. Yet, by the time we reach Evelyn's house, I'm no closer to an answer about much of anything. One thing I know, I can't undo the whole bead thing. And I wouldn't really want to, even if I could. And I'm not just going to stop searching for the other beads either. Mom's just going to have to deal with it. We enter the house through the back door, swing through the kitchen for a snack, saying a quick hello to Aunt Susan. We tell her that Chelsea has news for us and head upstairs to make the phone call. I try the restaurant, but they say she's not working today. I call her cell, but she doesn't answer. So I leave a message, and Evelyn and I start working on our homework while we wait for the return phone call. Finally, an hour later, the phone rings. We recognize the caller ID immediately. Hello? Chelsea? Yeah, it's me. Sorry I missed your call. I'm still at school, she responds. So you got my message? Yeah, what's up? Well, a woman came into the restaurant yesterday, and I noticed her reading the flyer. She stood by the door looking at it for a really long time, and I finally went over to her and asked if I could help her with something. She said that she didn't need anything, but she had seen the flyer and wasn't sure what to do. Apparently, she found one of the beads last year, but she doesn't have it anymore. My whoop of excitement dies in my throat as Chelsea finishes the sentence. She doesn't have it anymore, I repeat. What happened to it? Well, I'm not sure. She started to tell me and was saying something about her brother, but then she looked at her watch and said she was late getting back to work. She gave me her card, and I said I'd have you call her. Chelsea gives me the woman's name and number, and we chat for a few minutes. I tell her about Mr. Billings and his granddaughter Hannah and her seemingly miraculous recovery. Wow, Kate. First Emma was saved in that car accident, and now this girl is cured of cancer? I wonder what else you're going to find, Chelsea muses. Yeah, pretty amazing, huh? Look, I wanted to call this lady before she leaves work for the day. I'll let you know what she says, okay? I hang up. Evelyn's been listening with her ear plastered next to mine, so there's no need to fill her in. I immediately dial the woman's number, knowing that if I stop to think about it, I'll get nervous. Nonetheless, my heart is pounding when the call is answered on the second ring. Hendricks Pediatrics, this is Beth. How may I help you? Hi, I fumble. My name is Caitlin Roberts. I understand you found a bead that I'm looking for? Oh, yes. Hi, Caitlin. Yes, I did find a bead. I found it on the side of the road one day. 7 or 8 months ago, I guess, when I was out walking my dog. I'm afraid I don't have it anymore, though. Even though Chelsea has already said this, I feel my heart sink as I hear the words come down the phone line. Yeah, that's what Chelsea, the girl at the restaurant, said. Do you know where it is? Well, sort of. She takes a deep breath, as if she's collecting her thoughts. I adjust the phone, trying to hold it so Evelyn can hear as well. Beth continues. My little brother, well, he's 42. She chuckles. Sheesh, when did we get so old? Anyway, my brother James. She hesitates for long enough to make me wonder if the call dropped. Well, to make a long story short, she continues, James is homeless. and lives in a tent community downtown. He's addicted to goodness knows only what, but every once in a while he sobers up enough to call me from a payphone, and we usually set up a time and place to meet. Oddly enough, that bead I found had his initials on it, JCL. Even stranger, he called me right after I got home from walking the dog that day. Evelyn gasps at this, and I clench the phone as shivers run down my arms. The woman continues, "He sounded terrible, and I was anxious to see him. We set up a time to meet the next day, and I brought him that bead because it had his initials on it. It just seemed like it was meant for him. I feel terrible now, though. I'm so sorry." When she pauses, I glance at Evelyn, unsure of how to respond. Before I can formulate any words, though, Beth rushes on. "Chances are he's pawned it, or traded it for drugs, so I doubt I can get it back for you. The other problem is, I haven't heard from him since." I hear her take a deep breath and let out a sad sigh. This is the longest James has ever gone without calling me. I keep thinking the next I'll hear of him will be from the police, or a story on the news about a dead homeless man. Beth gives a soft, sad laugh. I'm at a total loss for words and just hang on to the other end of the line awkwardly. Beth clears her throat and says, "So that's the story. Give me your number and I'll let you know if I hear from him. If he does call, I'll be sure to ask about the bead, and I'll promise to get it back for you if I can." I give Beth the phone number, mumble something about how I'm sure that her brother is fine, and hang up the phone before sinking down on the bed, deflated. Evelyn sits down too, puts her arms around me. "There'll be other beads, Kate." I know. It's just, the two people who have seen the flyers don't even have the beads anymore. It seems like we're getting nowhere with this. "We'll find more beads, Kate," Evelyn says adamantly. "Don't give up. All of this is happening for a reason. I just know it is." Evelyn stops, and it's clear that she's had a revelation. "Hey, have you been praying?" she asks. I look at her a bit guilty. "No, I forgot." I confess, I did too. But it's never too late to start again. I have to get going soon for practice, but could I call you later so we can pray the rosary over the phone? Seriously? Isn't that a little weird? Well, I don't know why it would be. Besides, I've heard my mom do it with one of her friends from church. Okay, as long as I get my history done. I fell asleep last night and didn't finish it. Uh-oh. Did old Mrs. Perkins put the smackdown on you? No, not too bad. It's the first time all year, so she was pretty cool about it. But if it's not done tomorrow... Evelyn is exhibiting a streak of determination that I didn't know she had. Sure, she's determined in softball and cross-country and in her schoolwork and things like that. But this insistence on prayer is a totally new thing for me to see. Apparently, all the strange things have been going on have been getting to her, too.